Today's video is called I Was Born Without Eyebrows. And this may seem like a really random topic. It's how I overcame this as an insecurity. So when I was younger, no one really commented on my appearance. I just went to school and I had a good ass time. But then as I started to get older, things would happen that would make me insecure. Actually, I think I did have a comment when I was younger. I had one one girl I knew. I remember she asked me if I had cancer, and I didn't really. I remember I told my twin sister, and she was like, "What?" I wasn't really outraged. I didn't really get it. I was like, "Well, why would I have cancer?" But it's the whole chemotherapy thing. But I guess I come from a lineage of women who don't have a lot of body or facial hair, so it has its benefits. Like, my hair is really fine on top of my head, which means I don't have brows, but I also don't have body hair. Like, I have the only place that I'd have to go get waxed is like pubic area and armpits, but like I don't have arm hair, I don't have back hair, I don't have leg hair, like none of that. So I guess there's the benefit. When I was younger, there's nothing I could do about it, but as I started to get older and I was in like secondary school, that's when I started to use makeup, and that's probably why I'm actually really good at makeup now. I used to draw my eyebrows every single day, and you weren't allowed to wear makeup in my secondary school, but it's like my mum gave me the allowance. She was like, if anyone tells you that you have to take them off, you tell me. So basically my mum co-signed me and was like, you can draw your eyebrows. So I actually remember the first day I did start drawing my eyebrows, because I was like, it's gonna be weird if I I've been going to school for all these years with no eyebrows, and not people weren't really making comments, at least to my face. They're probably chatting shit about me behind my back. That's fine, that's how girls' schools are, and I don't really care. So yeah, I started drawing them on when I was at work experience, because I was like, oh, nobody knows me here. So I just would get my MAC pencil, because my auntie bought me a MAC pencil, the thin one, draw my little thin brows, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to transition, I'm going to bring them to secondary school. So I started to draw them, and I was actually received really well. Everyone was like, oh, your brows look so nice, da 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 da, and I was just, I was really happy. I think it was mainly because not that many people wore makeup in my school, so to see anyone do anything was monumental, because when I look back at them, I'm not joking, guys, they were just sticks. They were just two lines, but it made me feel happy. Over time, my finesse got better. I started using different products like Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I would use like gels and pomades, and everything was fine and dandy. But I guess in the root of me, I knew there was like a dependency, because it's like I was literally late for school and I wouldn't leave my house unless my eyebrows were drawn. And I knew long term that wasn't sustainable, and it wasn't a way that I wanted to live, because who wants to be dependent on doing things? Like, you can't do anything if you don't have your makeup on. That's ridiculous. So I did that for years, but then it came to one point where I was gonna go on holiday. I was actually gonna go on like a party holiday, and I was like, there's gonna be so many different boys there, and I want to look good in front of them. Like, how am I gonna keep my eyebrows on while jumping in the water? Because this shit is not waterproof. I was literally online looking for waterproof eyebrow gels or something. They probably have something waterproof now, but this was like, what, 10 years ago, 7 years ago. So I was like, oh my god, like, what am I gonna do? But there was that voice in my head that was like, Adrienne, like, the jig is up, like, you need to pack in the brows. So I said to myself, I was like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna wear my brows on holiday. And I didn't, and I think I still looked good anyway. No one said anything about it, nobody commented on it. I don't know if they noticed or not. But that was when I stopped wearing my brows, so I was probably like 18. And that was quite big for me, because that was like my shield and made me think that I looked good, especially in relation to men. But then from there, I stopped wearing my brows completely. It's now gotten to a point where I can't imagine forcing myself to put makeup on to go anywhere. Like, this is what happens with insecurities. The way that I see it is I really don't believe in surgery, because insecurities is not about how things look, it's about how you feel. If suddenly people started to glorify no eyebrows, which is what they're doing now, then you seem avant-garde, you seem androgynous, you seem cool, editorial. Like, in the last maybe 2 years, the amount of people that have come up to me and been like, oh, I love your browless look. I'm thinking, what's a browless look? Honey, I was born like this. I don't have a choice, And that's why beauty and insecurities and cosmetic surgery is so fleeting. So when people are making permanent changes, like irreversible changes to their body, I'm always like, I just wish you had the confidence to like, follow it through. Again, I don't know where I've got this audacity from, like, because there were definitely people who made me feel a certain type of way. Like, I remember even when I would be talking to guys and stuff, it was something that I would just think like, okay, like, let me just quickly say it and get it out of the way so they don't comment on it. And some of them, I would say it to them and they'd just be like, I don't give a shit. So I don't know if men are not observant, they just don't care. But they probably didn't care about me anyways. They were probably thinking, I don't give a shit. But I remember there was one person, it was actually more recently, like it was literally this year, one person who was like making a joke about it. And that was like the first time in a long time I had anyone like make a joke about my appearance. And to be honest, this person themselves is insecure. They know they're insecure, but it's still not like, that's still not cool, So that was like the first time I had someone make a comment or a joke about my appearance in a really long time, my eyebrows specifically. But these bitches want to be me, so I don't know. He's cunty anyway. He's a cunt, so it's fine. So this is why I feel like even when people are like, oh, you could get a little bit of filler or you could do this to fix that, like I tell myself every day to fight these urges. They're not really urges I have, to be quite honest. I'm not someone who thinks about surgery a lot. But if I were to have these urges, I encourage people to fight them, because we've seen time and time again, people get these surgeries, get their whole bodies done, and they're still not happy. They're still looking for something more. And it proves it's an internal fix. It's not about whether or not I have eyebrows. It's about like whether or not I like myself and I respect myself and realize that no matter what I look like, I'm still worthy, When I was younger and nobody was commenting on my face, I was worthy then. And even when I got older and people were commenting on my eyebrows, I'm still worthy now. It's not about how you look, it's about who you are. Even if it sounds cheesy, that's the bottom line. I see so many celebrities, someone like, sorry guys, I find it hard to pronounce her name in the British way, Lato. Someone like Lato, I was watching her podcast and she was like, honestly guys, like, do not get your body done. She's like, I didn't listen when people told me, and I still like the way I look, but she's like, there's always another insecurity that you will look to fix. It will never be fixed. You have to look at what you have naturally and embrace it. You have to, because even when you do these cosmetic fixes, they don't fix how you feel inside. I know it's easier said than done, but insecurity is literally something of the mind perpetuated by the people you put yourself around and your circumstances. So now that I've worked to accept myself, like there's nothing anyone could say to me about my appearance. And I may feel away, even because, if you're just living life and somebody randomly is like, oh, you have no eyebrows, ha ha ha, it's going to make you feel a type of way, but it's not to the extent where I'm going to try and fix this. I'm going to start drawing on brows. There was points where I was even looking into laser, was it microblading? Like I literally had a consultation, and even when I was at the consultation, like something in my spirit was like, nope, don't do this, like do not do this. And like I'm really glad I didn't, because now instead of being like, oh guys, like love yourself, I can actually be a poster child for that. And not like, everyone has insecurities, it's just what you do with it. And also I do think that in this day and age there's just a hyper focus on how we look, when there should be a hyper focus on like who we are and what we do. I find the people that nitpick the most at like, oh, I need to get under eye trough filler and I need to get lip filler in this. I feel like the people that nitpick the most, like respectfully, they don't have much ambition or passion. Like, why would I be thinking about forehead reduction or like hairline induced, I don't even, these crazy like meticulous surgeries? Why would I be thinking about that if I'm reading a good book, or I've booked a nice holiday, or I'm building something for my community? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, I think the fix to being heavily focused on insecurities is focusing on like what we can bring to the collective and who we are as people. Then it doesn't really matter, how we look, because both of those things are predicated on how we feel and how we make other people feel, not these external fixes. And what's really sad about these things are like, yeah, a doctor can approve a BBL and the silicone that they pump into your lips and stuff, but like, that foreign objects are not supposed to be in the body. Even if you think about the way your body reacts like to a new skincare product, imagine injecting yourself with silicone or any sort of plastic. Imagine the effects that will have. They will tell you, oh, there's no effects, but like, it's an industry, they want to make money. There are effects, long-term effects, psychological effects, physical effects, and it's really sad to see people think this is the only way. It's not. If you're around people who make you feel like you need to have surgery, you need to stop being around those kind of people. It's as simple as that. I'd rather change my circle than change my body permanently. It's a work in progress, and I know people say it's hard, but it's something that I'm willing to work towards. Even if I have to say affirmations in the mirror every single day, even if I have to cut off every person I've ever met because they think it's okay to make jokes about the way I look. I would rather do that than go under the knife. I would rather do that than inject myself with silicone or filler or crystalline. Like, none of these things matter. And do you know what's and crazily enough, like, I love aesthetics, I love looking good, but not at the expense of your health and your mental health. It's like a plaster for a big gaping gash in your heart. Okay, these cosmetic procedures are not going to fix how you feel inside. You're getting them because you feel unworthy and you don't feel good enough and you feel like this is the only way. It's not. You have to work on yourself and change your environment.